three variables I,
char C,
CHRC.
D.
Okay. Next, so C out. In one statement, we can write complete thing. Enter an integer,
Character,
double value.
Slash inverted comma.
I refers to integer, C refers to character, D refers to double. Okay. Next, while displaying, so display
Integer value is
integer equals to I. So end L refers to end the line. End L refers to end the line.
integer.
Okay, fine. So we'll execute the program. So I say like 57 space A space 26.9. Okay. So integer is equals to 57, character is equals to A, double value is equals to 26.9. So this is fine. Next. So three values we can enter either in single line, for example, like this. Okay, what I have entered previously, or else after pressing 57, press the enter key. Then A, press enter key, 26.9. That is individual lines also you can enter. So 57 is considered as first value, A is considered second value, 26.9 is considered as third value. So integer equals to 57, character is equals to A, double value is equals to 26.9. So this is one way. Now we'll test it in different way. If suppose if I enter like 57 A 26.9. So without leaving space I have entered. So in this case, how it is considered as like, so this 57 is considered first value. After that, there is no integer value. There is no digit. That is, there is no number. So if you don't enter the number after entering one or two values, so it will not considered as integer or floating point value. So directly it will be taken as character because I have not entered the number. That is called non-numeric character. If I enter capital letters or small letters or digits, again I'm telling, if you enter capital letters or small letters or digits, it is considered as non-numeric character. So it is not a number. So A is considered as second input and it is considered as character input. After entering the character input, next I have started with number, numeric character. So first 57 is numeric character, that is numbers, digits. A is non-numeric character. Again 26.9 are all numbers, that is numeric characters. So 26.9 is considered as third input. Okay, now you just see. So integer is equals to 57, character is equals to A, double value is equals to 26.9. So in this way, it will consider. I hope you people have understood. So after 57, it has encountered non-numeric character because capital letter A is non-numeric character. If you enter capital letters or small letters or symbols, capital letters or small letters or symbols which are non-numeric characters, so it is considered as second input. Then immediately after non-numeric character, I have entered the number, numeric character, 26.9. So it is considered as floating point value. So this is one case. Next thing, if suppose if I enter 5, it is an integer. Again I enter 7, it is an integer. Till you enter the numbers, it will be considered as integers only. Either you have to press a space bar or enter key, then it stops. So 5 is considered integer, 7 is considered integer, again 7 is considered integer, again 1 is considered integer. How many types you type also it is considered as integer. Then if you type space bar, then it will stop. It stops reading. It will go for the second input. So in the second input, for example, if I enter 123, so from numbers 123, 1 will be considered as character, 23 will be considered as double. Again, I'm telling 1 will be considered as character, 23 will be considered as double, whereas 577 is considered as integer because there is a space between 577 and 123. Because of space, 577 is considered as first input, and again in 123, 1 is considered as second input, 23 is considered as third input. So you observe here. So 577 first input, character equals to 1, double value is equals to 23. I hope you people have understood. So that we can enter in this way also. 577 first input, press enter key, 123. In 123, 1 is considered as second input, 23 is considered as third input. In 123, why only one number it has taken means, that is 1. Character values will contain only 1. That is one character. Either it can be digit or a symbol or capital letters or small letters. It will consider 1. See, for example, if I enter 577, enter, for example, A23. So, A will be considered as one character, 23 will be considered as whole number. So, 577 is the first input, A is the second input, 23 is the third input. So, while entering characters, you can enter anything. So, for example, if I enter 987. So, in case of 987, 9 is considered as character, 87 is considered as number. So, it is here double value we are getting 0, but we have to see the program, what it is happening. Okay, so in this way we have to understand. So, we will trace this program. Okay, my F7 key. So, execution starts from main function, clear screen. So, so when it comes to scene statement, it will wait for the user to enter the value, that is on the black screen. So how many times we have to enter? 3 times we have to enter the value. 3 values we have to enter. So if I say 57 space A space any number, say 25. Okay. So then it will go for the next line. So next character, it will display the character. So in this way. So sometimes we have to check with the double value because even we can use the float also, so it may go wrong. So we have to see what it is happening. Okay. Okay. So I hope you people have understood this. Is it fine? So we'll move to the next part. Okay. 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 So next topic is standard input using get function. So there is one function called as get. So we will see what it is. Okay. So before we go to that get function, you just consider this. Like we are considering 3 variables, say C1, C2, and A. C1 and C2 we can consider like character data type. A we can consider like integer data type. And if you consider the program statement like C in extraction operator C1, extraction operator C2, extraction operator A, that means 3 values we have to enter. For C1, for C2, and for A, 3 values we have to enter. Next, consider the following input. Input means this is like what we enter into the output screen. So in the output screen, that is black screen, if I press A, blank space, 2, 3, 2, 3 continuous, after A, 1 blank space. So if I enter like this, in the above example, A will be stored in variable C. You just try to match with the values and the variables. Okay. You try to match the values and the variables. So values are A, 2, and 3. Variables are C1, C2, and A. So A, 2, and 3 are the values. C1, C2, and A are the variables. So A will be stored in variable C1. Here, very important thing is, whenever we press a space bar, that is considered as blank space. So blank space is skipped by the extraction operator. That means blank space is not considered as input. It is skipped. We can say like it is a separator between A and 120, A and 23. It is like a separator. It is skipped. After skipping, the character 2 is stored in variable C2. So here you should read it as 2 as a character. Why we have to read it as 2 as a character, not as an integer? Because in cin statement, if you observe, second variable is C2. Second variable is C2. That C2 belongs to character type. Understood, right? I hope people are getting. C2 is the second variable. It belongs to data type character. So you should consider this 2 as character. Whereas next value, yes. So next value is 3. So
3.
3, you should read it as value, not a character, because 3 is the third value and A is the third variable. A
Variable.
is integer. Okay.
Integer.
In this way, how to match values with the variables used in cin statement with the data type. 3 things you have to see. How many values you have, how many variables you are using in the cin statement, and what are the data types of those variables. So here 2 and 3 are the values, C1, C2 and A are the variables. C1, C2 belongs to character, A belongs to integer. So in this case, what happens? A will be stored in variable C1.
C1.
Blank space will be skipped. 2 will be stored in C2. And 2 is considered as character, not an integer. Because C2 belongs to the character, so 2 is considered as character. And 3 will be considered as value, not a character, because
Value.
third variable is A.
Variable and the data is int.
Is int. Okay. So A is stored in C1, blank space is skipped. The character 2 is stored in variable C2, and the value 3 is stored in variable.
Stored in variable A.
Okay. So next thing here is, if I want to store the blank space, what I have to do? If I want to store the blank space, this blank space also I should store it in variable, some variable. In that case, we have to use this function, get function. Get function is used to read characters from keyboard, including blank spaces. You just observe here, syntax. Cin dot get of variable. This is the syntax, where variable is of type character. Okay. Example. So the same example we have considered, that is C1 and C2 are the variables which belongs to character type. A is the variable which belongs to integer type. So 3 variables we have taken: C1, C2, character, A, integer. So here what you have to do, if you want to consider blank space also as an input, okay, then make use of the function called as get. Instead of extraction operator, make use of the function called get. Just a minute. Here I will show you how to do this. So this operator is called as extraction operator. So one important property, or we can say demerit something, is that this operator, it will skip the
blank spaces.
Blank spaces. It will skip the blank space. That is, blank spaces are not considered as input in case of extraction operator. If I want to consider the blank space as also an input, then we have to make use of a function called as get. So I will write 2 ways of statement here. If I am considering char C1, C2
A
of type character, one variable of type integer, then if I write cin extraction operator C1, extraction operator C2, extraction operator A. So in this case, if I write this statement, in this case, blank space is skipped. Next, if I don't want to skip blank space, then I have to write cin dot get of next
C1 dot get C2.
Cin dot get of C2. For A, directly A, because A is integer type, so you can use extraction operator only. If it is integer type and floating point type, use extraction operator. If it is character type, then use get function to consider blank space also. So now in this case, what happens? So whatever the value we enter will be stored in C1, and this blank space will be stored in
This program C2.
blank space will be stored in C2, and next value will be stored in variable A. So that only we are looking
23.
at. See here. So character C1, C2A, C in dot get of C1, C in dot get of C2, C in extraction operator A. So consider the input A blank space 23. So now it is very much clear that A will be stored in variable C.
C1.
Blank space is stored in variable C2. Now
C2, 23 will be stored in variable A.
think before you proceed, think here. When A is stored in variable C1, blank space is stored in variable C2, remaining is 2, 3. There are two characters, 2 and 3. So what you have to do is, see, when you store A in C1, that is the completion of first scene statement. When you store blank space in C2, that is the completion of
That is complete.
scene statement.
That,
Next, you just
that has in
see
third
how many scene statements are
section also.
uh,
2.
Ajay,
Anna.
not inside, so disturbance.
Okay.
So when you consider A in first variable C1, blank space in second variable C2, remaining number of scene statements are only one, that is scene extraction operator A. And here 2 and 3, two values are there. You look at the data type of A. So data type of A is integer. So total 23 we can consider in variable A. That's how it works. Okay. So C1 gets the value A, okay, blank space will be stored in C2, total 23 will be stored in variable A, because A is an integer, it is not a character. If it is a character, then you should consider only 2, that is only one value, that is 2. Because it is an integer, total 23 you have to consider. You should not consider individual values like 2 and 3 separately, 23 you have to consider. So the value 23 will be stored in variable A. So in this way it works. Okay, now I will execute this program and I will show you how it happens. Okay. Okay. Now here we will consider three variables: C1, C2, integer A. Okay, then so C out. So we will consider enter. Just I will say enter values. So it is understood. Three values you have to consider. So C in, C1, C2, C3. Okay. Just observe here. So A space 23. Okay. So we can display those values here. So C out C1 is equals to C1. C2 is equals to C2. Okay, now you see. And if people observe the errors also, here I got one error. So that is illegal structure operation. So what is the mistake here is, for cin statement I have used insertion operator, that is this operator. Okay. So either to solve this error, what you have to do, either I have to use extraction operator here, but extraction operator I cannot use because I am displaying the value. So for insertion operator I have to use COUT. So along with the statement it has to match. For cin statement extraction operator, you observe the operators here, and for cout statement insertion operator, so you observe the operators here what I have used. Okay, now we will see how it executes. So A space 23. So A will be stored in first variable, blank space is skipped, 2 will be stored in second variable, 3 will be stored in third variable. You observe. C1 is equals to A, C2 is equals to 2, A equal to 3. C1 equals to A, C2 equals to A equal to 3. Now if I want to consider blank space also, then what I have to do is, so some changes I have to do. That is, character variable you enter like cin dot get. That is C1 and C2. C1 and C2 are the character variables. So you enter like cin dot get. A is not a character variable, it is an integer. So you write A like this. Okay. Now we will see how it works. A space 23. So A will be stored in C1. Blank space is also considered. Blank space is stored in C2. 23 will be stored in A. See here. C1 contains A. C2 contains blank space. A contains 23 because I have used a get function here. When you use get function, blank space is also considered. Okay. So understood, right? Is it clear? No. So any doubts still here?
How to store space ಅಂತದೇ ಒಂದು ಡೌಟ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್.
Okay, sir. Fine. To store blank space, we have to use get function. Okay. That's how we can store the blank space. So this is the end of what we can say like input-output streams. Okay. And one more thing, especially for Ashok sir, I will explain about cout statement because in the previous class we are not present. Ajay, ning revision agutte, okay? Ajay.
Thank you, Guru.
Okay. For Tejaswa and Ashok sir, I will explain. Ajay, ning revision agutte, just kelta ira, okay?
Ha bro, okay.
Okay. So when we consider the cout statement, so it is called a standard output first of all. So and it is also called as object. So we can say like statement or an object. In the next chapter is nothing but class and objects. There I will say what is a class, what is an object. Just you remember the word object. So this object is linked to the screen. The cout statement inserts the sequence of characters into the standard input stream such as monitor. See, whenever we consider the cout statement, compulsory we have to use this operator. For cout statement, this operator should be used compulsory. So this operator is called as insertion operator. Okay. For cout statement, we have to use this operator. It is called insertion operator. So how to remember this word is, you just remember this statement, you can remember the word. The cout statement inserts characters on the screen. So inserts means insertion operator. And when you consider this operator, that is 2 greater than symbols, this extracts. So it is called as extraction. Extracts values from the keyword. So it is called extraction. And when you consider this one, it inserts. So it is called as insertion operator. And when we consider the cout statement, we have to consider with respect to monitor. Monitor is nothing but the output device. So many output devices are there, but we have to consider the monitor here. So this is the syntax of cout statement. That is cout, insertion operator, string, or arguments, or manipulator. 3 things we can use in cout statement: string, or arguments, or manipulator. And how we can use is like, we have the option of using all the 3. We have the option of using any 2. We have the option of using any 1. Minimum thing is 1. Maximum is all. We can use one, either the string or an argument or a manipulator, or you can use two, or you can use all. But minimum you have to use one. And whenever you are using this, it can be in any order. First string, second argument, third manipulator, or first manipulator, next argument, next string. Whatever it can be, a order doesn't matter. And one more thing what you have to remember is, if you want to separate between string and an argument, or argument and a manipulator, then you need to place insertion operator. So string and a argument, argument and a manipulator, or manipulator and a string. You have to use insertion operator compulsory. Okay. So today we will see only about string. See, three things we have, that is string, argument and manipulator. We will see only about string, how to use. Just you look at this program. So cout statement. So I have considered welcome to C++ words. So if you put in double quotation marks, that is considered as string. So in case of cout, we have three: string, argument and manipulator. If you want to consider only string, then you put in double quotation marks. When you put in double quotation marks, it is considered as string. In the output, it appears as it is. That means in double quotation marks, you can consider capital letter, small letter, digit, symbol, blank space, anything you can consider. And whatever you type, it will display as it is. So it will not change. If you type capital letter, it will print capital letter. If you type small letter, blank space, symbol, anything you type, same thing, it will appear. There are some exception cases. I will tell you in the next program, you will come to know what are the exception cases. So here I have typed welcome to C++. So it is displayed as it is without any change. Okay. Next, second program. I have used three cout statements here. Okay. In first cout statement, I have written welcome with one blank space. So this is the blank space I have used. Next cout statement, 2 with one blank space. Next, C++ language. See, in the program, I have written three cout statement, but in the output, it will appear in one screen, one line only. So in the next example, you will come to know why it appears in one line. You take any number of cout statement. There are some things to be used in cout statement. If we don't use that in cout statement, it will come in one line only. After welcome to, after to C++. Now, if I want to appear this in three lines, three different lines, it doesn't matter with the number of cout statement, but how to write in the cout statement, that it will matter. You just look at this. Okay. What I have done is, in the first cout statement, I have written welcome \n. I think in C program also we used to use this \n. \n means new line. In the output, it should go to the new line. So that is nothing but \n, new line character. And 2 \n, C++ language \n. So in the output screen, after printing welcome, the word 2 is in the next line. After printing 2, the words C++ language is in the next line because of this \n. Okay. You write any number of cout statement, that doesn't matter. But if you use \n or endl, then it will go to the next line. See here, in the next program, I have written only in one statement. Welcome to C++, I have written in one statement. But also in the output, it is coming in the three lines, because after word welcome, \n is there. \n will move to the, will move mouse control to the next line. Next 2 word is there. Again \n, it will move to the next line, C++ language. So in the output, it is appearing in three different lines. If you use three cout statement also, it is correct. If you write in one cout statement also, it is correct. But you have to use \n. So there is one more option, that is nothing but endl. So you can use endl statement also. If you use endl also, so it will appear in next lines. So when you are using endl is called as manipulator. It is not a string, it is a manipulator. So if you want to separate between string and a manipulator, then in between you have to use insertion operator. So this is called as insertion operator. So you have to use the insertion operator in between string and a manipulator. So welcome is a string, endl is the manipulator. So in between insertion operator is there. 2 is a string, endl is the manipulator, insertion operator, C++ language. So that will be appeared on the screen. So after word welcome, 2 will appear on the next line. After word 2, C++ language is appeared on the next line. So output is same if you consider these two programs. Difference is, in the previous two programs I have used \n. In the last program I used end. That is the difference. Okay. I hope, sir, understood, sir. Ashwat, sir.
Okay, Guru.
Got it. Right. So remaining things we will see in the next class. that is regarding argument, 2 programs are there, and as usual next chapter is object oriented programming. That is the chapter name, object oriented programming, that we will see in detail, okay, how it happens and all. After object oriented programming chapter, you can go for classes and objects, where actual C++ starts. So that is classes and objects. And this complete file I will send you, Ashwath and Tejas sir. I will send this complete file. Sir, Ashwath sir, you can execute these programs once. Okay. So if you come across any doubts in the next class, we can discuss.
Okay, I will try, Guru.
Okay, okay, fine. So we will end the class. Ajay, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ?
ಬ್ರೋ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಬ್ರೋ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು.
Okay. So in the next class, so I will explain these 2 programs about arguments. Then we will move to the object-oriented programming chapter. Okay. Fine. So tomorrow I will take the class. Okay.